Hello everyone and welcome back to Lucky Loaders 15, where I will be giving you 5 of my best tips for tomorrow's horse racing action. I'm currently recording this video at 7 o'clock in the evening, and we've actually still got our nap to run tonight, which is September Power in the 805 at Lingfield, the last race there. Round about 6-1 shot last time I saw. Fingers crossed she can give us a victory. But yeah, apologies for doing this video before, not knowing how my nap's done. I've had a hard few days at Sky, and it was my last shift after 3 days in a row. They're really long hours, 10-hour days, and it takes me 2 hours to even get to the Sky studios where I live. So it is a really long day. Get up at 4 o'clock, you know, so I do get quite tired, but I'm doing this video as soon as I could, and then I'm going to hit the hay afterwards. But I will watch that race with September Power. But anyway, enough of that. Yeah, just quickly reflecting on how our selections have run today. In the end, it's been a good day for us. We're at least going to come out with profit. Our first tip was at Newton Abbot in the 220 with a horse called Giga White. Just finished in second place for Evan Williams on his chase debut. Travelled beautifully into the race, and I thought he was going to win turning into the home straight, but he just got out battled by Cheltenham DeVage, who gave Fergal O'Brien his 400th career winner under all codes. He's had, I think he had before today, 396 jumps winners. He had 1 Irish jump winner and 1 UK flat winner, and he's had a double today, so that gave him his 400th winner, and congratulations to him. But I was hoping that Giga White could win that race. We still got the each way money though at 13-2 as advertised, and was well gambled on in the end. Went off joint favourite, I believe. But yeah, nonetheless, you know, it was a credible effort, and he's definitely one to maybe follow next time out. We then had a winner that just literally got up on the nod, and that was Pajero for John Joe O'Neill Jr. and John Joe O'Neill Sr. Now, he came in here making a seasonal reappearance, and from what he'd shown last season, he suggested that he could be well ahead of his mark. He definitely showed the ability today, but he was maybe not that convincing in the finish, in the fact he jumped the last really poorly, and he just couldn't really get past Haley's Comet. And in the end, he only just got up on the nod, but I think he went slightly further. If you actually go back from some of his form last year, he was doing better over 2.5 miles. And I think maybe the sharp nature of Lingfield, maybe not Lingfield, sorry, of Newton Abbot. It's been a long day. The sharp nature of Newton Abbot maybe wasn't his ideal track, but still think nonetheless he ran a respectable race, and I think he will come forward massively for that run. So Pajero, not one to give up on. We advertised him at 2-1. He was well backed in the end, but at least he got the job done for us. We then had our Longshot, unfortunately, which was an on-runner. Massive gamble. I put this horse up at 12-1, and within the space of an hour or so, it got in as short as 9-2, and I think it did go down to about 10-3 in places. Now Dandy's Angel, unfortunately, didn't get to run because after the first few races, they discovered that there was a piece of false ground at Ayr, and also as well, it was chucking it down. It was really hard work for a lot of the horses, and in the end, they abandoned the meeting halfway through. So we didn't get a long shot, but all in all, it's been a good day for us, and we've had a winner, a nice each way, and fingers crossed September Power can do the business in the finale at Lingfield with our nap. We're going to have 5 tips tomorrow, 1 from Ripon, and believe it or not, 4 at Stratford-Upon-Avon. I really fancy quite a few there tomorrow. So we'll get straight into the first tip, which runs at Ripon in the 320. We go with a horse here called Fishable for David Allen and Tim Easterby, currently 2-1. Now this horse actually beat a horse that I tipped up last time called Union at Ripon. Now Union had some really strong form lines going into that race with Zabil Champion and Mafia Power, and that form from Newmarket was well boosted and advertised. But Fishable just picked off Union so easily, and the race was really run to suit that day. Scottish Summit tried to make all from the front, but this Fishable just kept coming, just came into the race, cruising into the race on the bridle, and in the end was a very comfortable victory, and was well gambled on as well throughout the day. There was a lot of money around for it, won by 3 1/4 lengths, and the handicapper did raise the horse £7 for that to a mark of 84. But that was only his 3rd career start, and you like to think that there's a little bit more to come from him. I think there is, you know, and this isn't the strongest looking race on paper, and I think he's got a lot more improvement to come, and I think he's a nice prospect. And at 2-1, I think that's a fair price. I think you might go off a lot shorter than this. I could see him maybe going off maybe around about 5-4 shot, maybe even touching even money. I could see the money definitely coming for him, and I think he's got a lot going for him. And the fact that he handles Ripon, not all horses handle Ripon. It's a bit of a bumpy track. There's a lot of dips in it. It's a bit of a specialist course, but the fact that he's already won there, he won very easily. And the fact that he looks like he has lots more improvements come suggests that I think he's a good thing tomorrow. And he's not going to be the nap, but he is going to be my next best. So fingers crossed he can get the job done for us there, and hopefully we can start with a winner. We then go to Stratford for an extra tip in the 520, a horse called Green or Black for Neil Mulholland, who's been doing well with his runners of late. They've been hitting in the ground running ever since really jumps racing resumed. They've had a few winners and they're still going okay. Now Millie Wallacott, she really caught the eye last season. She actually won, she ran into some really good races. I can't remember the name of the horse now. But the horse was rapidly progressing over the stay-in handicap chases. It came second in the Sky Bet chase behind OK Corral. Can't remember the name of it now. But she was riding for Neil Mulholland, and she was an amateur then. But she was doing really well, and she made the decision not long after that she was going to turn conditional. And she had her first rides as a conditional at Perth a couple of weeks ago, and she rode really well. She actually got a winner. I think she had a second place as well. But I think she's definitely going to be a name to keep on side throughout the winter, this Millie Wallacott. And I think tomorrow she's got a chance in this race. Now she's able to claim a handy £7, and she's good value for that. She was a good amateur, and like I said, I think she'll do really well. But this horse, Green and Black, it's been with Neil Mulholland for quite a while, and has always maybe found winning a little bit tricky. But last season, I think they really did find the key to her, and she actually won 2 races over hurdles. And last time we saw her, she made her chase debut when she finished 5th. I think she really needed that run. She ran okay, and that was quite a warm race actually. There was a couple of nice types in there that have done no harm for the form. So Green or Black, even though yes, she does find winning hard, but I just think she's well in here with the £7 claim of Millie Wallacott. She's off a workable mark. I think 9-1, that's a fair each way price, and I would be disappointed if she couldn't at least make the frame. She's normally very solid, this mare, at least making the frame, but I just think at a bit of a price there, she's one I would be willing to chance with the connections and form, and also as well the fact that she's had a recent reappearance under her belt where some of these haven't. So for me, Green or Black at 9-1, I think that's a fair price. We then go to the 620 at Stratford with my nap, and this is going to be Carpool for Isabel Williams, claiming 5, and Evan Williams is the trainer, and that's her dad. Now we put up obviously an Evan Williams horse today, ran really well, but just got denied on the line. But still, nonetheless, that doesn't put me off, even though the stable haven't had a winner in the last couple of weeks. I think their horses are going okay. But this horse ran a really encouraging race when making its seasonal return when finishing 3rd at Utoxeter. Ran really well for a long way, and probably just got really probably just didn't quite see out the trip that well. That was over 2.5 miles that day. This horse is going to be dropping back to 2 miles, and I think it will be a strong traveller. And now down to a mark of 100, I think that's really workable. And again, with the £5 claim of Isabel Williams, that's, in theory, this horse is going to be quite well handicapped, running off a mark of 95. Don't think this fielder up to too much. And at 10-3, I think that's a very fair, backable price. And I think possibly should be a little bit shorter. I'd be quite happy to back this horse if it was 5-2, 9-4. I think Carpool's got a good chance tomorrow. And I'd be disappointed if that horse couldn't go close. So that's going to be the nap there. We then keep staying at Stratford, and this is going to be my long shot, Rocket Ronnie, 11-1 for Ben Post and Adrian Wintle. Now this horse, he's been a good old servant. He hasn't won for nearly a couple of years. His last victory came at Newton Abbot in 2018, but he's a horse that generally runs his race. And I just thought this race tomorrow was so weak. He's 10 years old now, but I still think he retains the ability. He did fall early on last time, but he was travelling okay. But yeah, that would maybe be a concern. But 11-1, I think he's a big price and a very winnable race. This race has got a lot of horses, don't really bring in here any form. They look really exposed. I know Rocket Ronnie is exposed, you know, but you know, he runs to pretty much his handicap mark most of the time. He's rated 88, which is actually £2 higher. But after he went and won that race in Newton Abbot, he was holding his own, and he was running against some better handicapped horses. And he was unlucky, probably not to notch up. He was unlucky not to notch up another win. So for me, I think he's got a fair chance in this race tomorrow for a mark of 88. That's workable, that's fair, and with a half of a recent run under his belt, I just think if he brings his usual standard, he's going to have a chance here, at least making the frame. And at a double figure price, I think he's definitely worth a small stakes bet. So for me, Rocket Ronnie, not like the biggest price I'm ever going to tip, and maybe not the most sweetest I've ever been on a long shot, but still nonetheless I think he's got a good chance of going close, and I'd be disappointed if he wasn't there or thereabouts. We then go with my final extra tip, which runs in the 750 with a horse called Monty's Award for Paul O'Brien, claiming 3, riding for Charlie Longston. Now Charlie Longston, he normally does better really in this stage of the season. Normally on the summer jumps, I find I think he's normally a very difficult trainer to judge, especially in the middle of winter. I think maybe his horses just seem to run better on good ground. But this horse, anyway, she ran a really good race against Soldier of Love, and 2 of them went on to battle it out at Bangor on Dee. The pair put themselves 25 lengths clear of the rest of the field. And Soldier of Love for Paul Nicholls has subsequently gone and won his next couple of starts at Newton Abbot in better races. And even though this horse is going to have to be carrying top weight tomorrow, I think this horse has got a fair chance, and dropping back in trip I think won't be a bad thing either. Going to 2 miles 6, that's no problem at all. And even though yes, she is going to be carrying overall the biggest weight in the field, I think she's up to beat in most of these. Obviously the Virgil O'Brien horse is the main danger, but I'm just a bit unconvinced about her finishing effort. I just wonder if she's got the attitude for it. But this horse did show a good attitude last time out, and was out battled against a subsequent winner that's gone on a roll. And I just think at 2 to 1, that's a fair price there, and this is the one I would want to be on tomorrow. I could see the money coming for this one again, maybe touching 5 to 4, 10 to 11, something like that. So if you can still get the 2 to 1, I don't think that's a bad bet there. So they're the 5 tips for tomorrow. Just quickly recap: in the 320 at Ripon, we go Fishable, 2 to 1 for Tim Easterby. That's my next best. In the 520, an extra tip, green or black for Neil Mulholland, 9 to 1 each way. The nap comes in the 620 with Carpool for Evan Williams, 10 to 3, win only bet. The long shot is Rocket Ronnie in the 650 at Stratford for Adrian Wintle, 11 to 1 each way. And then our final tip runs in the 750 at Stratford with Monty's Award for Charlie Longston, win only bet, and that's currently available at 2 to 1. So they're the 5 best tips for tomorrow. If you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe on my YouTube channel for more videos. Also as well, if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can do, where my handle is @LuckyLoader15. And if you want to check out my website, go to www.chrisloaderracing.co.uk. So please gamble responsibly. Hopefully we can have some winners tomorrow, and we'll be seeing you soon.